All right, let's talk about this film. This film here, Godzilla versus Destoroyah. It is the last one of the Heisei era. This is the last Godzilla film we'll be doing for a little bit, because we're going to be flipping to Gamera. We're going back to Gamera. I'm looking forward to it. I finally doing Gamera. Oh well, I finally do the Heisei era of Gamera, which I know obviously it's not a Gamera video, but I'm just like, I'm so excited because that's considered the best Gamera films, is that trilogy. And then the last one is really bad. But anyway, doesn't matter. We're talking about Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. Yeah, the last film, they went out with a fucking bang. Honestly, they went out with a fucking bang. Let's just quickly cover the human plot, because there's very little of it. Like, I feel like it's very minimalized. You have a little bit of it, because you have, like, this guy who... So it's very much linked to the original Godzilla film. This one, more than any other previous film, like, even, like, Raids Again, which basically has a character from the previous film. Yeah, this one is very much linked to the first film. Yeah, we got mentions of, like, Oxygen Destroyer. We've got, what's their name? I'm trying to remember. Like, I'm looking at names on Wikipedia. I'm like, what was their name? What was their name? I don't. Was it you? No. You don't have. You have barely any Wikipedia. There we go. Mamako Kuchi. Someone can correct me on that. Okuchi, who played Emiko Yamini, from the first Godzilla film. So we've got a character from a film from 1954 in this film from 1995. So you got a character who's reprising their role from 40 years ago, shall I say, which is cool. And like I said, there's a lot of links. So you've got one of the experts in this film who does a little bit of talking, but it's kind of pushed to the sidelines. It's kind of set up a bit and then got rid of. Who, yeah, is linked to Emiko, who was adopted by the professor from the first film. I think him and his sister were adopted, from what I remember. Yeah, but it's, you got these links to the previous film. And they even show like clips from the previous film. They're talking about the Oxygen Destroyer, because the new creature Destroyer is kind of like the Oxygen Destroyer given life, I think is what they say. It's like Destroyer originated as a colony of microscopic Precambrian crustaceans who have been awakened to mutate in Tokyo Bay when the Oxygen Destroyer was detonated to kill the original Godzilla. Yeah, so it's created from the Oxygen Destroyer in 1954. In 1995, the destroyers eventually mature into man-sized creatures to repel Japan Self-Defense Force assault. Yeah, so basically they start off as like little small creatures who... It's funny, I just have watched, like, recently I've started the Alien films on my like horror movie reviews, because yeah, they're still a little bit from Alien. They got the little mouth thing. You go pop out and go, oh. Yeah, I was like, hello. This is a little bit like Ridley Scott's going to show up and go, hello, I'd like some money, please. Oh, okay. Yeah, they start off as like these little tiny creatures, and they slowly just get bigger and bigger and bigger until they finally like kind of merge into one giant kaiju, the Godzilla fights. And yeah, so Godzilla's got his own thing, own shit going on, because the planet, the island that basically Godzilla just kind of hangs out on, Earth Island, I think it's called. And pull up. I don't want to close the page. Both of them basically went nuclear. Is it nuclear? Yeah, the planet was destroyed basically. Yeah, nuclear. Basically, was it a meltdown? It kind of blew up, which is causing Godzilla to basically go through a nuclear meltdown. I got like you have this burning Godzilla, where he's glowing red, and he's kind of slightly out of control. This Godzilla, it looks so cool. I love the design of burning Godzilla. Honestly, it's one of the coolest looking Godzillas. You know, I mean, maybe there'll be a cooler version of Godzilla. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so for the most part, we've got Godzilla. Well, burning Godzilla. Godzilla Jr., which says in here is Godzilla Jr. You know, the last one said little Godzilla. We've got Destoroyah. And that's it. We do have Super X3, which, yeah, the Super X hasn't appeared since. Well, we had one in the first film. Did we have one in? Was it in Biollante? I think it was in Biollante, or the film after that. Yeah, we've rarely ever seen the Super X. They're finally coming back, because this one is basically designed so it can shoot cryo lasers. They'll basically freeze Godzilla, because he's going through a nuclear meltdown. So the best way to stop him is to freeze him. But like I said, there's very little of actual human plot in this, other than the humans are just like, oh shit, we gotta do something about this fucking Godzilla. And like I said, it seems like a very small percentage of the film overall. Most of it is like the fucking kaiju, so you have the little tiny destroyers coming around, destroying shit with a little alien type mouse. And then, yeah, you see a whole thing of them. They create some kind of like black hole in people type thing. It's like a swirly pattern that goes straight through them. This film's like the first one where they use a lot more CGI. Like noticeably. Like the last one, I think Mojira was like CGI for maybe like a scene or two, like very briefly. But this one they use a lot more of it, and it's not as good. It doesn't hold up as well. Yeah, it's not my favorite. Definitely not my favorite. But I do like yeah, I honestly, I love this film. Like the fact that it's like an all-out battle. So yeah, like the climax of the film, spoilers, and I mean, if you care about spoilers at this point, why you're watching this video? You're watching a review of a film from a long time ago. Yeah, almost 30 years. So yeah, the climax is basically Destoroyah ends up killing Godzilla Jr., which is, yeah, fucking insane. And Godzilla goes fucking on the warpath. First he kind of tries to, he kind of breathes on baby Godzilla, who then basically revives him. Or it's the destruction that kind of revives Godzilla. Yeah, I think it's the radiation of Godzilla nearby that revives him. But yeah, radiation at the end, because yeah, Godzilla basically gets his ass kicked for quite a bit, and then like because he's just almost near fucking meltdown. He's just like kind of omni-powerful, and he basically just wrecks Destoroyah, and then ends up melting down to, which like it's that that bit of CGI I didn't mind as much. Like, it looks janky, but also I'm also thinking of again, like, okay, this would be kind of, I guess, very expensive to have, a huge model of Godzilla that's melting down and also like expose the like skeleton. It looks cool. Like, like I said, it looks like very early CGI, but it does look pretty good as well. Not gonna lie, I don't punch the microphone. Like it's kind of janky, but fits quite well with what we're trying to do. And yes, the death of Godzilla. Oh my god, we've killed Godzilla. Okay. Yeah, up to 54. It's like, yeah. Apparently they had like a funeral for Godzilla, because this is basically going to be this is the end. It was only until America basically spit on the name of Godzilla. They were like, oh, fuck that shit, we got to bring back Godzilla. Otherwise, people could just think of this shitty Godzilla as Godzilla. Ugh. Which, yeah, to be fair, they do. I did for quite a while. I didn't even, I grew up in, like, I was basically a kid, like, at 9 years old when the Godzilla movie came out, so I was all in the hype, just like, oh my god. Oh, that looks so cool. Not knowing what Godzilla should be. Like, how they ignored that design, but that's a whole review when we finally get to that film. Looking forward to that. Yeah, we'll get there. Don't you worry. We'll get to 98 at some point. Eventually. Yeah. Honestly, it's, like I said, I think it almost basically just almost ignores the humans in a way, and I don't hate it for it. Honestly, it's the humans are just there to kind of react to Godzilla melting down, and just like look at the timers, look at the counter just timing up. There's not a whole lot of like big romance plot going on or anything. Like they just kind of, the humans just like talk to Godzilla to try it. Was it the other little Godzilla Jr. or Godzilla to go see the other one to try and protect him? But like I said, there's very little human plot, and this film doesn't suffer from it. And I think this is I honestly think this is probably one of the best Heisei era Godzilla films, because this one's, it doesn't have any kind of wacky silliness to it. There's not a lot where I'm like, there's very little in it that I can point holes in. Like, there's a lot of them I'm just like, yeah, oh, that doesn't look good, or like Mojira doesn't look that great, or I just don't really care about that human side plot, or the fucking time travel one is still fucking batshit. Yeah, I'm just But this one is honestly one of the best Godzilla films ever made, I'd say. It's definitely top 5, I'd say. I'll put on a limb and say this is definitely at least top 5 Godzilla films in general. I love this film. Like I said, it's all about Godzilla versus Destoroyah. Little Godzilla or Godzilla Jr.'s there. That's fine. He's kind of like set up for like if they ever did like do a sequel, but they never did a sequel to this film, like a direct sequel. We get one in like 4 years' time. In '99, basically after Japan was insulted by Hollywood, which is funny. Like the fact that like that revived the Godzilla brand. They're like, oh, fuck that shit. Yeah, it's so good. I can't say enough about this film that I'm just like, it's such a good send off to Godzilla. Like, and it almost is just Like, I know they already have like another Godzilla to set up, just like just in case they do another one. But it's almost like the balls to just kill off Godzilla in this way. It's impressive. And I love it. And like I said, I think it's one of the best. But yeah, I've rambled on enough about Godzilla for now. And how much I love this film. For now, I'm gonna have to sign off. And yeah, like I said, we're doing Gamera next. We're doing Gamera films. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. And I finally have seen all the Gamera films. Because there's only 4 films I've got to watch. So that'll be done like, 2 weekends. So, yeah. Oh, pardon me. I do apologize for now. I say, live long and prosper. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.